Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the full lecture. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, let us see one of the important problem in which we need to prepare journal entry as well as the balance sheet. So please focus completely on this problem. The question is on the screen. Please pause the video and take the screenshot of the question, or at least write down the question and then only watch the video. Then you will understand it very clearly. Now they have given the balance sheet of U Limited. So there's a company called U Limited, and that company's balance sheet they have given. So there the liabilities are there some part, and some part assets are there. Now the company is going for internal reconstruction. The company is getting internal reconstruction. The equity shares to be reduced to rupees 2.50 each fully paid, and the equity shareholders to subscribe the new equity shares of rupees 2.50 each at the rate of 3 shares for 1 share held. So first they are reducing the value of equity shares from 50 rupees to 2.50. Then next thing what they are doing is that they are issuing for every 1 share, they are issuing 3 shares of rupees 2.50. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಶೇರಿಗೆ 3 ಶೇರ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಪಾಸ್ 2 journal entries for this particular problem. For this first adjustment you need to pass 2 journal entries. First journal entry is reduction of shares, and second journal entries is new issue. Third one, now third journal entry, check B adjustment, the preference dividend which is in arrears for 3 years. So in balance sheet if you check, there are 12,000 7% preference shares. So 7% is a rate of dividend. So each year this preference shares will get 7% dividend on the 6 lakh rupees. So that is arrears, means there's a due for 3 years, and that has to be cancelled, and which has to be against the issue of 2 new equity shares of for every rupees 100 dividend arrears. I'll explain it to you, don't worry. The preference shares to be reduced to 10% preference shares. So this 7% preference shares have to be reduced to 10% preference shares, okay, of rupees 10 each paid. So it should be rupees 10 each paid. Next, preference shareholders to subscribe to new equity shares. Again the preference shareholders have been issued new equity shares of rupees 2.50 at a rate of 2 shares for 1 share. So for every 1 share, 2 shares they are issuing. Okay, I'll explain it to you, don't worry. Next is 12% loan creditors to forego rupees 1,25,000 and accept. So in this loan creditors, so there are totally 5,75,000 value. In that 1,25,000 they are sacrificing, and with that they need to accept 10% preference shares of rupees 10 each fully paid. So for the balance they are issuing this much. They also agreed to subscribe 12% new equity shares of rupees 2.50 each. The directors of the company to subscribe 40,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50 each. So directors of the company is also subscribing for some of the equity shares. The trade creditors to sacrifice 10% of their claim and be paid immediately 50% of the remaining claim. So the total trade creditors, that is 2 lakh, out of that they are sacrificing 10%, and whatever the remaining balance is there, in that remaining balance 50% they are paid. Next, the intangible and fictitious assets are to be written off completely, and the balances be utilized to write off plant and stock in the proportion to their book values. So what happens? First we need to write off the intangible assets as well as fictitious assets. That is goodwill we need to write off, preliminary expenses, and profit and loss account. Then balance whatever we have, out of that balance in the proportion, that is the plant and stock. Plant is 3 and stock is 4 lakh. So 3 lakh is to 4 lakh, means 3 is to 4 ratio we need to write off the remaining balances. So prepare journal entries and prepare reconstructed balance sheet. Now carefully you see here, it's a very easy problem. It's lengthy but it's very easy. Let us try to understand it in more easier way. Don't get confused. So first what they are telling that in the balance sheet they have given certain amount of equity shares. Balance sheet ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು equity shares ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So totally there are 15,000 equity shares and each equity share value is rupees 50. So it is 7,50,000. ಇದು balance sheet ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. Now this 50 rupees has to be reduced to 2.50 rupees. So it becomes 15,000 into 2.50. So 15,000 into 2.50 is nothing but 37,500. This is the first journal entry we need to pass. Now in A question, if you observe, the equity shares to be reduced to rupees 2.50 each fully paid. So we have reduced, and the equity shareholders to subscribe to new equity shares. So the second journal entry is you are issuing new equity shares of rupees 2.50 each at the rate of 3 shares for 1 share held. So total it is 15,000 equity shares are there. For every single share you are issuing 3 shares. Total 15,000 equity shares. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಶೇರಿಗೆ 3 ಶೇರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ at a rate of rupees 2.50. So 15,000 divided by 1 into 3 into 2.50 is nothing but 1,12,500. This is the second journal entry, new issue you are making. Now the third journal entry is for adjustment B, the preference dividend which is in arrears for 3 years. So carefully you listen here. So that is in balance sheet we have 7%, 12,000 preference shares are there. The value is 6 lakh. Now what is the 7%? This 7% is nothing but the rate of dividend. Rate of dividend means the preference shareholders should get 7% dividend on this 6 lakh. So 6 lakh into 7%. 6 lakh into 7% if you do, every year they should get 42,000. For 1 year they should get 42,000 as a dividend. So they have told that for 3 years there are arrears, means 3 years they have not been paid anything. So 42,000 into 3. When you make 42,000 into 3, you will get 1,26,000. So these to be cancelled. It has to be cancelled against the issue of 2 new shares. So they are issuing 2 equity shares. For every rupees 100 dividend in arrears. So divide this by rupees 100. So how much you will get? You will get 1,260 rupees. So for this they are issuing 2 equity shares. 2 equity shares, and each share value is how much? It is rupees 2.50. Each share value is rupees 2.50. So 1,260 rupees into 2 into 2.5 is 6,300. This 6,300 we have to issue the new equity shares. This is the third journal entry. Fourth journal entry, what we need to do? They have given the information regarding the preference shares. So in balance sheet we have 7% preference shares. So total 12,000 preference shareholders are there, and each of a value 50, that is 6 lakh. They have to be reduced to 10%. 10% preference shares. 10% preference shares of rupees 10 each fully paid. So this 50 rupees has been converted into 10 rupees, which is nothing but 1,20,000. This is the fourth journal entry. Next, they have given what? And preference shareholders to subscribe to new equity shares. So they are subscribing the new equity shares. This is the fifth entry. So they are issuing, they are subscribing for new equity shares of rupees 2.5 each at the rate of 2 shares for 1 share held. So how much preference shares are there? 12,000 preference shareholders are there. For every single share, they are giving 2 shares, and each share value is 2.50. So it will be 12,000 into 2 into 2.50, which is nothing but 60,000. So total preference 12,000 preference shares ಇದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು 12,000 preference shares ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇವರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೊಸ ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ಗೆ 2 ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ನ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 2.50 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ 6 lakh. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. Now, next, the sixth journal entry is about the loan creditors. So we have 12% loan creditors. 12% loan creditors forgo. So total loan creditors is how much? Total loan creditors are 5,75,000, out of which they are sacrificing 1,25,000. They are sacrificing. Now remaining balance is how much? 4,50,000. Okay, for this they are issuing preference shares of rupees 10 each. Means total they are issuing 45,000 preference shares, 10% preference shares, and each is rupees 10. ಈ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ 4,50,000 ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು 10% ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶೇರಿನ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 10 rupees ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲ್ 45,000 ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ 6th entry. Next, the 7th entry is what means the directors, sorry, before that there is one more is there, and agreed to subscribe 12,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50. First they get this trade creditors, loan creditors are getting preference shares also. With that they are accepting 12,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50. This will be our 7th journal entry. And 8th journal entry is about the directors of the company to subscribe 40,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50 each. So the directors of the company are subscribing for 40,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50 each, which is again 1 lakh rupees. Next, F adjustment, that is trade creditors to sacrifice 10% of their claim and be paid immediately 50% of the remaining claim. So this will be the 9th journal entry. So 9th journal entry is related to trade creditors. 9th journal entry trade creditors ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? 2 lakh rupees ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 10%ನವರು ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಿಫೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. 10% ಆಫ್ 2 lakh is nothing but 20,000. ಸೊ 20,000 ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್? 1,80,000. In that 50%, in this 50% means 50% of 1,80,000, which is nothing but 90,000, they have been paid. Immediately we are paying them. This is about the 9th journal entry. Next, we have the last journal entry, that is 10th journal entry. We need to write off the losses. Okay, now let us see how to pass the journal entry. Now the first journal entry, what we need to issue, what we need to entry? they are converting the 50 rupees equity share value into 2.50 rupees. That journal entry we need to pass. So equity share capital account, this is a old one. So totally it is 15,000 equity shares and each share value was rupees 50, which is nothing but 7,50,000. That has to be converted into equity shares of rupees 2.50 each. So equity share capital account, this is a new after conversion. The same 15,000 equity shares have been converted into 2.50 rupees. So when you convert it, you will get 37,500. So the remaining whatever is there, we need to transfer it into capital reduction account. So minus this 7,50,000 from this 37,500. So 7,50,000 minus 37,500, if you do, you will get 7,12,500. This is a sacrifice they have made. This is our first journal entry. So the first journal entry we have completed. Second journal entry is what? They are issuing again new equity shares of rupees 2.50 each. For every single share they are issuing 3 shares. Means ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಶೇರಿಗೂ 3 ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 2.50 rupees ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್. Total how many shares they are issuing? 45,000 shares of rupees 2.50 each. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು 15,000 ಇತ್ತು. ಟೋಟಲ್ 15,000 ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರು. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಶೇರಿಗೆ 3 ಶೇರ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ 15,000 ಇಂಟು 3, ಸೊ 45,000 ಶೇರ್ಸ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟು? 2.50. Now here when you issue new share you will get money. So you have to write debit bank account. So 45,000 into 2.50 rupees, it is nothing but 1,12,500. This is the second journal entry. How we have got? They have received the money through the issue of equity shares. So to equity share capital account. So it will be 1,12,500. This is our second journal entry. So second journal entry we have finished. Now third journal entry is very important. What they are telling, finally we have found out that we are issuing total 1,260 into for every this they are issuing 2 equity shares. Okay, that is of rupees 2.50 each. So when you do 1,260 into 2, it is 2,520 into 2.5. So it's 6,300 will be as it is. So now again we are issuing 2,520 equity shares of rupees 2.50 each. That will be adjusted in capital reduction account. So capital reduction account. So how much total? 2,520 shares of rupees 2.5, which is nothing but 6,300. This we are adjusting to equity share capital account. ಇದನ್ನ equity share capital account ಗೆ adjust ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. This is the third journal entry. So third journal entry we have finished. Fourth journal entry is what? We are converting 7% preference shares into 10% preference shares, and 50 rupees value we are converting it into 10 rupees value. The fourth journal entry is 7% preference share capital account. 7% preference share capital account. So total there are 12,000 preference shares and each value is 50, which is nothing but 6 lakh. That we are converting it to 11% preference share capital, sorry 10% preference share capital. So same 12,000 preference shares we are issuing at the rate of 10 rupees, which is nothing but 1,20,000. Now whatever the remaining is there, that we need to adjust it to capital reduction account. So 6 lakh minus 1,20,000, if you do, you will get 4,80,000. that has been adjusted to capital reduction account. This is our fourth journal entry. So fourth journal entry is over. Next, fifth journal entry is what? Again, the the company is issuing the equity shares. It is issuing equity shares. So there are totally 12% preference shares holders are there. For every single share, they are issuing 2 shares, which means 24,000. 12,000 into 2 is 24,000 into 2.50, same you will get 60,000. So they are issuing totally 24,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50 each. So when they are issuing the shares, we will get money. So we need to debit bank account. So 24,000 into 2.50. When you do 24,000 into 2.50, you will get 60,000. So this money we are receiving through the issue of equity shares. So equity shares capital account, same 60,000 you need to write it here. This is the fifth journal entry. So fifth journal entry is over. Now sixth journal entry, what they are telling is the 12% loan creditors, the value is 5,75,000. In that they are sacrificing 1,25,000, out of which the remaining 4,50,000 they have been receiving 10% preference shares on that. So each preference share value is 10 rupees. Total they are issuing 45,000 preference shares. Let us see how to pass the journal entry for this. So 12% loan creditors. So 12% loan creditors, total loan creditors amount is 5,75,000, in which they are sacrificing some amount. So that will be sent to capital reduction account. So they are sacrificing how much? Total they are sacrificing 1,25,000. The remaining balance, that is 4,50,000. For this we are issuing 10% preference shares we are issuing. This is the sixth journal entry. Now the seventh journal entry is what? Again for the same this trade loan creditors, we are issuing 12,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50 each, which is nothing but 30,000. For this again we need to pass the journal entry. So we are issuing equity shares means we will receive money. So we need to debit bank account to equity share capital account, to equity share capital account. So here we are issuing total 12,000 equity shares and each share value is 2.5 rupees, which is nothing but 30,000. This is the seventh journal entry. Eighth journal entry is what? The directors of the company are taking 40,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50 each, which is nothing but 1 lakh. So again the eighth journal entry, we are issuing equity shares. So we have to debit bank account debit. So totally we are issuing how much? They are taking 40,000 equity shares of rupees 2.50 each, which is nothing but 1 lakh rupees. So this amount we are receiving through the issue of equity share. So to equity share capital account. This is the eighth journal entry. Now the ninth journal entry is what? So there's a trade creditors of 2 lakh value. In that 10% they are sacrificing, that is 20,000 they are sacrificing. Then remaining 1,80,000. In that 50% means 50% of 1,80,000 is 90,000 that we are paying them immediately. For this we need to show the journal entry. So it will be trade creditors account. So for trade creditors account, in that first trade creditors they are sacrificing how much? They are sacrificing some amount. So all the sacrifices we need to send it to capital reduction account. They are sacrificing 20%, 10% they are sacrificing, which is nothing but 20,000 rupees. And here if you observe, we are paying them 90,000 in immediately. So we are paying them, so to bank account we are paying them 90,000. So total here it will come 1,10,000. This is the ninth journal entry. Now the last journal entry that we need to adjust the capital reduction account. Capital reduction account. Now see here, all credited. So first here we have credited 7,12,500. Then here we have debited 6,300. So you have to minus this. Then here we have 4,80,000. Then here we have 1,25,000. Then here we have 20,000. First add all credit balances. So here add, first we have 7,12,500 plus 4,80,000 plus 1,25,000 plus 20,000 and minus 6,300, because out of which we have issued the equity shares. So minus 6,300. So when you do this, add 7,12,500 plus 4,80,000 plus 1,25,000 plus 20,000 minus 6,300. If you do, we will get 13,31,200. Now we need to write off the first intangible asset. So here we have only one intangible asset, that is goodwill account. So write off goodwill account. How much is the goodwill account? It is 4 lakh. Then they have told us to write off the fixed years assets. Fixed years assets is here nothing but the preliminary expenses and profit and loss account. So preliminary expenses is of 15,000 rupees. Next we have P&L account. P&L account is how much? 5,50,000. Now from this 13,31,200 subtract all these items. So when you subtract, you will get balance of 3,66,200. Now this balance you need to distribute among the plant and stock in their proportion. ಇದನ್ನ plant and stock ಗೆ ಅವ್ರ proportion ಮೇಲೆ distribute ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. See, the value of plant is 3 lakh and the value of stock is 4 lakh. So here 5 zeros I can cancel and here 5 zeros I can cancel. So it will become 3:4 proportion. So for plant I need to distribute in 3 by 3 plus 4 is 7. So 3,66,200 into 3 by 7, and for stock 3,66,200 into 4 by 7. So 3,66,200 into 3 divided by 7, you will get, that is 1,56,943. Then 3,66,200 into 4 by 7 if you do, you will get 2,09,257. This is what we need to write here. So to plant, how much here it is? 1,56,943. 1,56,943. Then for stock we need to write 2,09,257. 2,09,257. This is the 10th journal entry. Now after this we need to prepare the balance sheet. So this is the format: balance sheet of U Limited as on 31st March 2022. First we need to take which component? We need to take equity and shareholders component. Equity and shareholders component. So in that first always we need to take, that is share capital. Share capital. In that equity shares. So if you see our journal entry, all share value is of rupees 2.50. Now let us see how much equity shares we have issued. First year we are issuing 15,000 equity shares. Then again, second we are issuing 45,000 equity shares. In the third entry again, we are getting 2520 equity shares. Again we are issuing here how much? 24,000 equity shares. And again here we are issuing 12,000 equity shares. And here we are issuing again 40,000 equity shares. So add all these. So first we have issued 15,000, then we have issued 45,000, then we have issued 2,520, then we have issued 24,000, then we have issued 12,000, plus last we have issued 40,000. If you add all this, you will get 1,38,520. Total this much equity shares we have issued of rupees 2.50 each. When you do that, you will get 3,46,300. Second is preference shares. In this preference shares, if you observe here, first we have issued 10% preference shares, that is 12 lakh. Then again 10% preference shares of 4,50,000. So add this plus this, 4,50,000 plus 1,20,000, you will get 5,70,000. So under preference shares we have issued 10% preference shares of 5,70,000. So next let us come to non-current liabilities. Nothing is there, so directly let us go to current liabilities. In exam you mention all components even if it is not given in the question. So current liabilities, in that first we have trade creditors. So if you see the trade creditors, so out of 1,80,000, 90,000 we have paid. So only remaining 90,000 is still the due. Only we have liability for remaining 90,000. So that we need to show here. So for trade creditors it is 90,000. Next we have the other current liabilities. There is no effect for that. So whatever the amount is there, write it as it is. That is 40,000, you write it as it is. Now add 3,46,300 plus 5,70,000 plus 90,000 plus 40,000. We will get 10,46,300. This is our total liabilities side. Next component what we need to consider? We need to consider the assets. So in assets, first we need to take non-current assets. In that non-current assets, first one we have, that is buildings. So there is no change for buildings, we don't have any additional information, so write 2 lakh as it is. Then plant, so in balance sheet they have given 3 lakh, but here in the last journal entry we have written off 1,56,943, that we need to minus. So 1,56,943. So when you minus 3 lakh from 1,56,943, you will get 1,43,057. Next we have current assets. In that first current asset is stock. In balance sheet they have given 4 lakh, but in our last journal entry we have written off how much? 2,09,257, that we need to minus. So 2,09,257, when you subtract this 2,09,257 from 4 lakh, you will get 1,90,743. Next we have debtors. For debtors there is no adjustment or any additional information given, so write as it is. Then we have cash or bank. So cash or bank, now see here journal entry. Here first we have received in bank, that is how much we have received. 1,12,500 we have received. First we have received 1,12,500. Again here we have received amount, that is 60,000 we have received. Then again here we have received 30,000 we have received. Then last again we have received 1 lakh rupees of amount in bank account. But in that again we have paid here how much? Here we have paid 90,000. That we need to minus 90,000. Now so it will be 1,12,500 plus 60,000 plus 30,000 plus 1 lakh minus 90,000, because bank has got been credited here. So when you do all these things, you will get 2,12,500. Now add all these things. 2,12,500 plus 3 lakh plus 1,90,743 plus 1,43,057 rupees plus 2 lakh rupees, you will get 10,46,300. This is the total asset side. Our balance sheet also got tallied. This is a lengthy problem, but it is a very easy problem. If you have any doubts, please rewatch the video again and again until you have become perfect with the video. Any doubts at any particular point, if you get, please put that doubt in the comment. We'll try to respond to your comments as soon as possible. Thank you for watching the video. I'll come back with the next video very soon. Thank you. If you have any queries regarding today's session, kindly send your queries to education.mbroadcast@gmail.com.